Well, we've had a number of inquiries of late from users who've lost their ability in their drawing to see grips. I'll zoom in on a circle, so I've selected the circle, and the grips are these little blue blocks. There's one at the centre of the circle, one at each of the quadrant of the circle, and if we pick other entities, here's a line and an arc and a spline. You can see there are grips scattered all over the individual element. We'll come back to editing with those in a moment, but if you've lost those, go to Tools and Global Parameters and click on the Grips option and just make sure this says yes. I'll change it quite deliberately now to no, and we left those selected. See now when we select a circle of any entity, the grips disappear. Now let's take an example where we wanted to move, say, the end point of this line to the centre of that circle. We could select it. Remember that grips are off, move. We could snap to the end of there and then to the midpoint of that circle, and we're done. But if I put grips back on, let's undo that move. We'll go to Tools again, go to Global Parameters and say, yeah, we do want our grips to be on. And I select both of those. I can very easily do the same thing by moving. I don't need to issue the command at all. I just click on the handle there and there. That changes the end point. Let's pick it again and say we'll go from there. Sorry, you've got to pick both at once. We'll go from the midpoint there to the centre of that circle. So can you see you can do a lot of editing just with these grips. As an illustration, we can come in here. Here's a rock. Let's centre our view. And there's a little handle. The grip changes to a handle. And we can just rotate and move the rock into position. So it's very handy. We can even pick symbols like so and just rotate those symbols at will to give a bit more variation to the design. If you take a spline, notice at the end of the spline you get this little handle as well as a grip. That enables you to edit the end point of the last point of the spline. It's the direction that the spline is going to go in if you extend it, add other vertices and so on. At the other end, we get the attack angle of the spline. So we can we're basically changing the direction. So I hope you can see that leaving grips on and managing editing with grips is a very useful and quite productive little tool to master.